All right. We are back against the raid on Griffon Tower from unexpected hobgoblins. And we have Mara. I will need you to go ahead and roll initiative for me, since you have done a few rounds of of securing the front door, and so now you, um, still hearing sounds of combat outside, feel inclined to run out and help your friends. And then after you roll initiative, we'll see where you land, and we'll start with Sin on his turn. And I
How do
will
I
make.
drag to do initiative?
You should be able to just double click it.
Is this not it where it says inish? Oh, there
Yep.
it is. I was clicking the header.
There you go. All right. Perfect. So then you'll act at the end of the round. But I'll say you're probably making your way downtown, walking fast, faces past and homebound, but heading out the back of the tower. So, Sin, you are. Where do you recall being when we last left Sin?
I believe I was close to the cart.
Mm-hmm. You had.
Um,
I remember you had thrown your axe.
Yeah, two of my axes embedded in the two guys that were on the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, one guy got thrown by the swarm.
Right. I think that one's the one that's still technically alive.
Okay.
The two that were on the cart, one of them is clearly no more, and the other one I believe is who I'm calling Bad Luck Bob, who had taken that axe hit and was pushed away. We'll say that clearly the Hobgob Helper and the Horse Whisperer are still relatively close to the horses, although they still have two horses to calm, and their numbers are dwindling. So they are, obviously, they're more towards the front where I believe Prudence is on the ground. Leofston is over there. Poppy is somewhere nearby in the air. Am I forgetting it? Oh, and Tendy, well, we'll get to Tendy here in a bit. Because Tendy's next. So, go ahead and tell me, what would you like to do?
Okay, you said Prudence was on the ground, like prone, or she?
No. She's on her feet.
Okay.
She's by the front of the horses.
All right. First off, Sin noticing that that guy is still there. He's going to pull out one of his axes and chuck it at him. So we'll start there.
Okay. So who
You said this was Bad Luck Bob. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. That was the one that you've already thrown an axe to, so might as well have a one-stop shop for all of your axe collecting needs.
Yep. If I can find this guy.
And I'd say he's definitely within 20 feet of the cart, since they only pushed him about 15 feet away.
Looking for Bad Luck Bob.
He's the one just a few underneath you. It says Hobgoblin, Bad Luck Bob.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
All right. Well, for the recording's sake, you rolled a 17.
Yes, I rolled 17.
So that actually is going to hit Bad Luck Bob. Remember, Bad Luck Bob. That if he had his shield equipped, it would have hit. So his armor class is a little less than what it says on the tin. So go ahead and roll your damage
Gotcha.
against Bad Luck Bob.
Okay, and that's a
That's a
is it 3?
6.
Oh, okay, 6. I couldn't read the thing.
okay. Yep. Well, your 1 on the die plus 5 is 6. It flies into the chest of Bad Luck Bob. No swarm necessary, as he catches it in the other side of his chest and falls down on the ground.
Okay. And do I see any enemies in the immediate vicinity?
We'll say that you're on the side of the cart closest to the tower. So there's no one on that side. You know that there are two on the other side of the first horse, which is close to Prudence and Leofston. So those are the closest to you, but you also have seen arrows flying from what seems to be an archer line from deeper into the forest path.
Okay, so we see. So I can see. I can't see them though. They're too far away.
The horses are blocking the archer's view, but you can at least see the feet of the hobgoblins on the other side of the horses.
Okay. Okay, so if I can see their feet, then I guess I'll hop on top of the cart so I can see them visually.
Okay. So with trying to eliminate as much cover as possible.
Yeah, and then I will throw my axe at the first one that I see.
Okay. And how many axes do you have total?
I have 1, 2, 3. Check my inventory. I have 5 hand axes.
Okay, but how many have you thrown so far? You said 1, 2. You said started before your
I've thrown 3.
2. Okay, so you've thrown 3. Go make sure you mark that off so you can remember how many hand
Yeah,
axes.
you have the ammo thing up. Okay. So those are those 2. Okay, so the who am I hitting with the secondary attack?
You tell
What's
me.
Mm-hmm.
his name?
You can hit Hobgob Helper or Horse Whisperer.
Let's go with Horse
they're both
Whisperer.
within range. Okay.
Okay, that'll miss him.
Okay. You'll go
Okay.
ahead and mark that off. That is what, a total of 4 now that you've thrown?
Yeah, that is a total of 4.
Okay.
So, after missing, Sin will, I guess, duck down behind the cart again for cover.
You could duck in the cart for cover, I'd say at this
It's
point.
fine. Okay.
Before you end your turn, I do want to clarify. You have 5 total axes, correct?
Right. That is
So
correct.
if you've thrown 4, you should only have 1 left.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm seeing 3 dots and 3 dots. So that's why I wanted to clarify.
There are, right.
So just make sure that you're only that number.
I think
should
I
be the
intended to
same.
buy. I think I intended to buy more axes. I don't see them in my inventory, therefore I don't have them.
Okay, so just go ahead and mark both of those. Your ranged, main hand, ranged, offhand, down to 1 axe left. Just before you'll need to start picking some of those back up before you can chuck anymore.
Okay. So you wanted me to do what now?
I'll do it for you. Just bring it down to 1, because you have.
I see.
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks like you have. You treat that ammo block, both of them, as the same block.
As the same block. Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so you hop in there. I'd say that gives you probably a +2 to your AC for cover against any sort of ranged fire. Obviously, if a hobgoblin comes up next to you and attacks, that wouldn't necessarily constitute cover, but the other 2 are pretty occupied with Prudence and Leofston. So you hop in. You kind of duck down into the cart seat, and you can go ahead and end your turn. We'll go to Tendy. Tendy, where are you again?
Tendy was running towards the front of the cart, so probably close to the helper and the horse whisperer.
Okay. Yep, you would be over there by Prudence, Prudence Poppy, and then the 2 hobgoblins on the other side of them is next to the horses is going to be Leofston. So
Double checking one thing before I say for sure what I'm doing. Hang on. How much health do I have? Probably not much.
full.
Oh, I think I'm doing okay. I'm going to. Tendy is going to pull out their rapier. Is it a rapier that they have? I need
Yep.
a mouse for this keyboard. Damn.
Yep, it's you have a dagger and a rapier.
Yes. Tendy's going to pull out their rapier and slice at the horse whisperer, and also at the same time do green flame blade. And I can link it. Can you show me how it works? I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and link it. So Green Flame Blade is the action that you're actually taking in this. You're casting this spell with somatic and material components. So basically, with a certain type of flourish and in your rapier, you can brandish this weapon and make a melee attack against the creature within 5 feet from you. And then what happens is that it will allow you to do the weapon's normal damage, and then it will cause green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it. So in this case, you can hit Horse Whisperer or Hobgoblin Helper, and it will, since they are pretty close to one another, that it will jump. It'll jump over, and the second creature will take fire damage equal to your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yep.
So how does it function in Roll20?
So what will happen is you will drag the 1d8 fire roll self onto you, which looks like you have. You've already done that. So then what you'll do is you will roll your rapier attack against. Is it going to be Hobgoblin Helper or Horse Whisperer?
Horse Whisperer, and I got a 9, so I didn't do anything. Can I use an inspiration?
Yeah, you can use inspiration. That's the whole purpose of inspiration.
I hit him so good. I got a 23.
Very nice. All right. So go ahead and roll your damage for the rapier. It should also, since you have that effect on you, it should add an additional 1d8 fire to that roll. Perfect. And then you would just drag the red lightning bolt of 3 fire damage to your other target, which would be Hobgoblin Helper. Perfect. Good job. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a green flame. What does it look like when you do this flourish and ignite your blade in flame?
I think oh god, I don't know, you put me on the spot. They pull it out of the sheath thing that it's in, and they're gonna do like a wrist thing, like they can't do that. I don't know, they just stab it at them and then fire comes out.
Okay. Just poke and then like a Bic lighter. Alright, so you deal 9 damage to the to the Horse Whisperer, and some of that fire leaps off of the Horse Whisperer and lands on Hobgoblin Helper as he looks over and sees that he is now on fire even though he did not get attacked. That is pretty dangerous stuff. Nicely done though. Alright, anything else? Alright, so we're going to skip over Bad Luck Bob, who is dying. Patches is going to... I'm going to probably stick to some pretty basic stuff for him. He has a hobgoblin up in the tower, or not hobgoblin, bugbear, that is up in the tower with him, who is not obviously the best of rolling on the d20s. So he is going to go ahead and looking at... He makes sure that he backs up into a advantageous position to be able to shoot, and trying to think of the quickest way to possibly get rid of this bugbear. He is going to launch a arrow at his face. He is going to use sharpshooter, and with a 12 that is going to miss. So Patches then thinks, maybe they're a little bit more durable than I thought, and may not use sharpshooter again in order to see if he could effectively hit.
That was a really good Patches impression. Good job, good job.
Good job, buddy.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I've been practicing. He's going to have Jolene, who is keeping in melee distance, go ahead and bite the bugbear. And Jolene rolls a natural 1. So that is...
Maybe it wasn't the bugbear last time. Maybe you just need to freeze your dice.
I mean, I changed the color and everything. There was even an update. It's got to be new dice, right? All the more incentive for me to buy fake pixel dice that somehow make a difference for me. Alright, well, that was not a good turn for Patches, but we cannot dwell on the past. We have to go to Hobgob Helper. Hobgob Helper looks at you, Leofston. Hobgob Helper is closest to you. So he is going to... I call it belly up, which is basically he's going to be within melee of you. We are going to... Ooh, actually, I completely forgot about this. He is actually going to go over to stand adjacent to the Horse Whisperer and Prudence. He is going to, since he has what is called martial advantage, he is going to roll his attack against Prudence with his swinging his longsword. He begins to get out his shield, but he's not going to be able to equip it this turn, as those with shields are often familiar with.
Does Prudence have any reactionary stuff, or was that just a rule?
That would be, I don't believe so. That would be something you would know if you have for your character. I think Prudence.
Yeah, no, I think Prudence only can cast missiles.
Yeah. If you put it something next in parentheses next to any of those things, whether it's reaction or action or bonus action, those will help at a glance. But it doesn't seem to matter to this Hobgoblin as I roll another natural 1. That is 2 natural 1s in a row. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Hobgob is dead to me, but not really dead because I need somebody to kill you guys. Horse Whisperer, though, also has martial advantage and is taking care of this. Is going to take care of this team up on Prudence. There's no way in hell I would be able to roll a third natural 1 in a row. There we go.
No.
20 against Prudence is going to hit. This one is wielding its sword two-handed. It does not grab. It's not... It is heavily damaged, and it is going out in, as John Bon Jovi would say, a blaze of glory. Leofston, you are not adjacent to be able to do anything. You're about 5 feet difference because you spent last turn chopping the arm off of one that has previously now deceased.
But I have one of my runes is within 30 feet.
Okay, then go. Now's the time to do it before I drop this damage dice. What are you gonna do? Interrupt me, Wolf.
He's thinking.
Shouldn't your light be green because we're in the forest?
No, it's red because of blood.
I'm so sorry. Did you not hear me?
I didn't hear you at all. Yeah, that was some good. That was some good dead air.
So I'm so sorry. Like, I need to turn admin mode onto Discord. I said that I'm going to use Cloud Rune, which is, as a reminder, if a creature within 30 feet of me is hit by an attack roll, I can use my reaction to invoke a rune and choose a different creature within 30 feet of me other than the attacker. So Leoston's going to throw a hand up and shout a Jotun word, and it's going to go after a Hobgob Helper.
Hobgob Helper.
So I imagine, like, like a rune would appear in front of the blade, and it just like sinks into the rune, and then the rune appears next to Hobbly Gobblies.
Okay.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Basically.
Alright, so that damage instead goes to Hobgob Helper. Hobgob Helper will take 8, and he will kill his own friend in cold blood. Nicely done. Go ahead and spend that reaction so you don't have that anymore. Because there are more fights to come. Speaking of which, it is now your turn, Leofston.
God damn it. Sorry. Should they be clear dots if I use them, or white dots if I have used them?
Clear if you've used them.
Well, beans. I'll fix that in a second. I'm gonna suddenly go through a lot of abilities. I apologize in advance, but I will keep that in mind for Cloud Root.
Whichever method you use, just stick to that. So that way I don't think you've used something when you haven't, or not used something when you have.
Okay, for this session, if it's white, I have used it.
Okay.
From this point on, I'll reverse that, but I don't want to mess up the chat. So with that done,
Go ahead and
Go
ahead and fill in your cloud rune then, because you've used it. So if filled in means you've used it, then there we go. Perfect. Okay.
I have not used my stone rune reaction, so I'm just gonna. I messed up. Leofson's going to close the space in between him and Horse Whisperer, and
Easy enough.
wing.
Easy enough.
And he's gonna swing two-handed Landbreaker.
You got it. Swing that Landbreaker. Roll it against his armor class. See if you hit him. That's a critical hit.
Ouchie, wouchies.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your damage. That for sure hits him. Your cloud rune made him kill his friend, and he's kind of like paused for a moment, like that anime, like gah, and you capitalize upon that and perform instant death on the hobgoblin, and you basically chop his head clean off. Or unless you want to do something else, you tell me how you crit.
No, that's pretty good. Like, as he's reacting to killing his own friend, Leofson's gonna charge up behind him, swing sword over one shoulder, and swing it so hard it goes over his other shoulder and through the guy's head. Neck. Through his neck.
Okay.
And chops it off.
Brutal massacre. Nicely done. You can, since now they are both down, you have about, I would say, you've got some movement left. Did you want to move closer to the archers, who seem to be the remaining foes, yet at a distance?
Let me look at something real quick. Is casting shield a reaction or an action?
Casting shield is a reaction. It's a spell reaction.
And since I used a reaction earlier, does that still count, or since it's my turn again, it's reset?
It's your turn. It's reset. Reactions can't normally be done on your turn. They can be done off your turn.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, the idea I had was to, as Leofson starts making his way towards the archers, he's going to cast shield on himself, since it's going to take too long to pull out his actual shield.
Yeah, I would. That's why it's a reaction. If you cast shield and nobody shoots at you, you've spent that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it is a reaction.
So instead, I'm sorry.
It's upon you getting hit. That's when you would say that you do that.
Okay, so then Leofson's going to turn and roar and start charging the archers.
Okay. Well, you can only get a bit. They have the biggest advantage they have are arrows that can go 150 feet, and they are 120. And they're 90 feet away at this point. But yeah, you head off into their direction, and that will bring us to Prudence.
Prudence, with her fists raised, whoops in surprise and joy as Leofston fells the bugbears the hobgoblins that were in front of her. She's really impressed, and so she's like, Don't leave anything for me. Are you trying to prove something?
Keep
And-
up.
And she laughs and runs past him and tags him on the shoulder as she runs towards the archers.
God, I ship them so hard.
Okay, so you are going to dash.
Yeah.
Okay. So just from where you are and from where they are, what's your movement speed?
Like 1 billion, probably.
Oh, cool.
It's 40.
Okay, 40. So you get pretty close. They're 90 feet away, so there's about 10 feet of distance between them. They see you like just Terminator running towards them,
Yeah.
and they all start kind of looking at each other like, oh
She's
shit.
also got like a shit-eating grin on her face. She wants to fight.
Okay.
This is where she thrives in.
Well, you are alive and thriving, and it's their job to end it. But before they do, so you dash, that takes up your full turn, but you are almost on top of them. You see the panic in their eyes. Go ahead and end your turn. That's going to bring us to Poppy.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
Wait, I need to do this first. Let me look at something. I forgot that I have this up. Is the hobgoblin fire away within 90 feet of me?
Fire Away, Pistol Whip, and Shooty McShootface are the 3 archers in the back path that are 90 feet away. I'd say you're right next to where, like, pretty close to where, yes, they're within 90 feet.
Okay.
But just
so
barely.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to move my hex over to fire away.
Okay.
Let me. I'll hex them for strength.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then is Patch's best friend within 120 feet of me?
Let's see. 50 feet up in the air. 60 really. 60 and 60. I'd say no.
Okay. Can I move closer?
Yes. If you spend your move, you can definitely get within 120 feet.
Okay. And you said
Before you do that, though, I'll point out you're towards the ground, and it is 60 feet up in the air. You can see the combat going on. The bugbear's going to probably have +2 to its AC due to cover for being so high up, being surrounded by the stone, like a lip of stone. If you were attempting to blast it, that's why I wanted to mention that.
okay. Then you know what? I don't move closer. I do. I'll move closer for later, but for now, I'm going to, with my 120 not movement speed. That'd be fun. Range. There we go. There's words. I'm going to twin my Eldritch Blast and hit both Fire Away and Pistol Whip.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you could definitely do that.
Damn girl, frick 'em up.
Get him.
Light them up.
Spend those resources.
The first one is a 22 to hit.
22 hits,
Hell
fire
yeah.
away. Go ahead and roll second damage, or a second to hit for Pistol Whip.
Okay.
And
18 to hit.
that will miss. Even though they don't have a shield on, it still doesn't hit past their AC.
I'll use my inspiration to reroll that.
Okay.
21 to hit.
That will hit pistol whip. So you twin your bolts, and they both fly, whizzing past Prudence, running towards them, just kind of over her shoulders, kind of flipping her hair forward as they hit both of them in the face. It seems like nobody's going to let you kill anybody today, Prudence. Fire Away has, both of them have fallen, taken 13 damage on one and 12 damage on the other. Prudence there is only Shooty McShootface staring you down with its bow at the ready.
She points at him like, you are mine.
Okay, and that's my turn.
Okay. Mara, you just exited the back of the Griffon Tower. You hear the sounds of combat. You know it's in the front of the building. There's not any sort of ramp to be able to go down, but there are a few. If you look at that picture of the tower, the top down of the tower, there's a few drops. Nothing too complicated to go down. It's just 5 feet on each tier. So, what do you want to do? Are you wanting to rush out there, or?
I was upstairs with the bugbear.
You want to go upstairs instead with the bugbear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, good choice.
I would say that would.
Don't seem like you need any help.
I would say, we'll say you made it to the first floor up into this turn. You
Can
would
I
be able.
dash?
Yep. If you dash, you can make it to the second, third, fourth floor, which you'd still have one more floor to go.
Well, frick.
But hey, it sounds like, I mean, you don't. You know, you can. You may have heard a thud as something was trying to climb the tower. That was one bugbear who just didn't have a good day. I mean, neither of them are. So you know that there might be someone up. There might be others up there trying to get to whoever of your teammates is up there. So
I mean, I know Patch is up there. I know he hasn't come down, so I'm gonna go see what's going on.
Okay.
And I guess I'll chill on the 4th floor.
Yeah, I will say climbing stairs is considered difficult terrain. I'm not even going to count that. If you're dashing, I'll say you can clear 3 floors, but there's 5 floors to this whole entire thing. So,
Okay.
all right. Shooty McShootface is going to back up 30 feet before he shoots. So there's now 40 feet between you and him, Prudence. But there's nobody to save you this time. Nobody around to enact any sort of reaction to eliminate any sort of damage or make anyone hit anybody else. It's just you and a natural 1. So that again misses.
I think she might be putting Mikhail to bed right now.
That's fine.
Joe.
It's not her. It's me. It's performance anxiety and gets the best of us. Anyways, Patches' his best friend up there on the roof. We'll go ahead and try to make quick work of Jolene and come down with his Morning Star. Let's kill something. Nope. That's a 9. Awesome. Gotta love it. Alright. We'll go back to Sin.
All right, Sin, watching everything commence, he's going to take the opportunity to find his axes.
Okay. I'd say you could definitely get the 2 off of the one that you knocked off the cart.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yeah, and then you can head, and that you still have enough room to go to another one that you have one into. So you can get back 2 of those at least, and be ready to pick up another 1 or 2. And that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Tendy, the numbers have quickly dwindled down. Seems like Prudence will be able to take care of this last hobgoblin shooting, or you can deny her the glory that she has been seeking this whole entire 12 seconds.
Do we have any kind of idea how, like, tough these hobgoblins are? I don't want to take this kill from her. I could potentially help if I do a little damage, but I don't know if a little damage will get them.
In terms of tough, you can tell that they have shields, although none of them have them equipped right now. And they wear chainmail in a sort of unique decorative pattern, but chainmail nonetheless. So they are armored, for sure. So they that would be fairly tough.
Okay, Tendy's gonna get down on all fours and use feline agility to move 60 feet towards Shooty McShooterface. Am I close enough that I could hit him with a 60-foot thing? Because he was 120, right?
He was 90 feet away originally, and he moved back 30, so he is now 120 feet away from where you are. So moving 60 feet, if you have a 60-foot spell, that would work.
Perfect. Tendy wants
Cat
to cat scream at him, but the kind where it doesn't make a noise out loud, it makes a noise in his head.
Okay.
And causes psychic damage. I am just pulling the spell up real quick.
This is the thing you're casting, though. What's it called? Mind
Sliver.
Got it. Okay.
He has to succeed an intelligence throw or take 1d6 psychic damage and subtract 1d4 from his next saving throw before the end of my next turn. So hopefully that'll help Prudence.
Yeah. He succeeded. He got a 13.
Oh, well then I don't do anything.
You do not. But you rush, Prudence, you start to hear the sound of footsteps or paws coming up behind you. Then all of a sudden, it stops. You don't have time to turn around and look. Not while this guy is frozen in fear, reaching for a horn. Patches is going to do what Patches does, but this time not with sharpshooter. He's going to shoot his best friend, getting a hit. And that is going to be rolling that beautiful damage. He hits with a 22, dealing 8 damage. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and have Jolene infuse strikes to it. And add an additional 1d6 lightning damage. For 6 more additional lightning damage against the bugbear. The bugbear has taken heavy damage at this point. Good job, Jolene. He is going to... since he didn't get approached by the bugbear, he's going to remain where he's at. Then we go to Leofston. Leofston, it seems like there's still the bugbear fighting up on top. You aren't going to be able to get to. And Prudence has rushed off towards the one remaining archer. You are kind of right smack dab in the middle there.
Trying to think of what to do, because number one, she's gonna murder that guy, so she does not need help. Number two, it's probably best. It's gonna take me several turns to get back up to the top of the tower.
Yes.
Unless I climb it.
Be a good idea, though.
You know,
Also,
that you do recall there was another horn sounding off in the distance.
that is true. So, Leofson's gonna keep following Prudence in anticipation for our next wave coming, but he's gonna use his movement speed, but his action, he's gonna pull out his shield and equip it.
Okay.
And then that'll be it.
Yep. So you pull out your shield, easy enough. Action to equip it. Make sure you have your armor class reflected correctly, and go ahead and end your turn.
Should I have my shield in my inventory?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna end my turn and fix that.
Okay. You have a wooden shield.
Yes.
And it currently says that it's equipped.
It's not in my weapons tab, so I didn't know if it counted on my hand or not. Or just saying it, does that count?
No, it's in your inventory if it's equipped. For some reason, you have 13 armor class. So that's what I'll probably need to have you figure out.
I should have 18.
Yes. So again, you'll have to. I would need you to. We'll figure that out. And we'll come back
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Prudence. This potential kill is yours. You can move, what, 40 feet?
I can move 40 feet.
And it's only 40 feet away.
All right. Since I was putting my kill to bed, can you paint the picture here for me?
Yes, I rolled a bunch of nat ones. I'm sort of upset with myself, but that is the nature of being a DM on a bad night. So you heard footsteps behind you as Tendi was rushing to aid you, and then you heard nothing. Tendi stopped running at some point, and the archer, is now that he tried to fire a shot and did horribly, is starting to pull his horn out.
His horn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that won't do.
This is a Christian Discord. That's inappropriate.
That's yanking horns. We don't do that here.
All right, then Prudence wants to... Sorry, you look like you have something to say. Okay, sorry. Prudence wants to use all of her movement to get to the hobgoblin. And she is intending to take the horn from him and smash it in her hand. Just gonna crush it like a can.
Okay.
And then maybe punch him in the face a couple of times. You know, if time allots.
Tell you what. I'll let you make an athletics check against his to try to grab it from his hand.
Ready? One. That is a 16.
He gets a 20, so he maintains his grasp on it. You could try it again at the cost of an attack. Your action. Allowing him again another possible turn to live.
What do you think, gang? Should I do it again or should I punch him in the face?
I think he should not blow that horn.
Okay.
He should not blow that horn. Agreed.
I'm going to continue wrestling with this furry man. You will not be calling more. And that was... Ooh, I got even worse.
Wait. So, okay, so you're gonna try to grab it again from him?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's that nat 1?
Roll a 1, Jordan. Roll a 1.
Oh, no!
Don't you sass.
No!
Don't you sass me. That's where I get my power from. This is where this 20 comes from. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. I dare you.
Because I wasn't here to sass you. You lost all your power.
Yep, I'm gonna need you around. I need a full-time sass so I can be able to roll my maximum power. No, it still holds strong, and it then just grins at you. It puts it up to its lips, and if it gets its turn, it is going to blow that horn, Jack.
Prudence
Yeah, fuck.
dangles from its arm. Why are you so strong?
It gives you the Kubrick stare.
Are you only, like, allowed to roll crits and doubles tonight, Jordan, or something?
Well, those aren't technically crits, but it's either all or nothing, right? It's
Yes.
fine.
How far away am I from Prudence and the hobgoblin?
You're still a good distance away. It's not your turn though.
No, I'm curious. I'm planning. I'm sorry.
It would probably take you because Prudence moves faster than you, so where it took her a turn to get 10 feet away, and then obviously an action to get up close, or a movement to get up close, it'd probably take you 2 dashes at this point.
Okay.
Unless I know you moved a little bit towards, so I'd say 1 full turn of dashing, and then we'll see where we're at. But probably
Fast as fuck, boy.
yeah, probably 2 turns of movement.
Okay, thank you.
Pape.
Okay. Poppy is currently headed towards the bugbear, Patch's best friend. So gonna move closer, trying to make it to where there's no real cover.
All right, you can easily do that. You fly up a little bit higher up in the air, so now Now more of the bugbear is visible instead of being just the top half, or the
Okay.
top third.
So I'm going to bonus action move my hex. Where is the hex? It's right here. Oh god. Okay. I will.
Question on hex.
Huh?
Question on hex.
Yeah.
Can you change the hex disadvantage every time you move it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just don't remember what it was before.
It was always strength, so I didn't say anything the next time, but I wanted to. We'll just say for now until we look it up that it's whatever you've initially chosen it to be. When you bonus action move it, it's the same type. So it'd be disadvantage on strength.
Okay. I think it was wisdom actually before because it was making animal handling checks.
No, didn't you hex the bugbear and that's why it failed the first bugbear and that's why it fell?
No.
Okay, you can do wisdom then.
Okay. Nope. I did that wrong. Put it on myself.
Oh no!
Hold up.
Please do. Anything at this point will help.
Wisdom. Best friend. Okay. Then I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Sounds good. He gets no cover from this now that you have sent it higher up into the air.
9. That means no in German.
That does, and it definitely knows right on past him. He turns around real briefly to see that you are now like hovering up about 50, 60 feet in the air, like blasting towards him, and he kind of turns back towards Jolene and Patches. Anything else? Okay.
Nope.
Mara, you would be able to get up there.
Right. I'm going to run upstairs. So it's just one level, right? I don't need to dash again.
You don't need a dash. You have 40 feet of movement, so you're good.
Okay. So I run up, and it's Patches and Jolene, and Patches' best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. I thought when my turn came up, I would have a decision, and I was wrong.
Yeah. I will say it's understandable as someone that's new to D&D. You always want to have like a go-to in case you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna attack.
I know what the problem is. I have too many options.
Yeah. When people sign up for songs for karaoke and they wait an hour and then I call them up and they're like, what do you want to sing? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, you had an hour, but
I don't know. I think I'm gonna. Oh frick. Do I? I'm gonna. Shit. Do I have it?
do you have what? I can help you look.
Oh, there it is. My rose. So I'm gonna do Thorn Whip on the bugbear.
Okay.
Still not used to finding all my shit on this new thing. Sorry, lots of language tonight. I hope Mikhail can't hear me.
He's in bed.
I'll say it louder then. Abilities.
Right. So then,
Thorn.
so what you'll do is on Thorn Whip, if you hit that little gear, there's a blue sword that says attack, and then the melee +6. You'll drag that to Patch's best friend.
Wait, but hang on. I'm sorry. I know I'm new. What tab is it on?
The
I thought
actions tab.
Oh, I thought it would be on abilities. This is so confusing.
Action. Okay. So the actions tab is going to be your primary spot for all combat stuff.
Okay. So
and spells.
Take the gear and grab it on.
Nope. If you click the gear on Thorn Whip, you see that underneath it has a yellow cast die.
Oh, there it is.
And then so drag the melee +6 onto Patch's best friend, and that will roll to hit. And that three,
That's a 25.
quickly became a 25. Nicely done. So you'll take the damage, the red lightning bolt, you'll hover over the 1d6 piercing magic, and drag that on top of the bugbear.
Oh, hang on, I grabbed the wrong one.
No, you did it
No,
right.
that's right. Okay.
Since it wasn't over Patch's best friend, I'm going to drag it on top of him, so he'll take that 3. And he does. He is now critical. He is not looking good.
So, that's my action, right?
Mm-hmm.
I moved. I got an action. I'm gonna take a bonus action, and well, yeah. I'm gonna wild shape into a wolf.
Ooh. All right. Let me see. Let me pull up wolf here.
I get. Well, I guess it says it has pack tactics. The wolf has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet. Patches and Jolene count as allies, right?
Mm-hmm. So, you have, if you'll look now, because I have dragged
Oh, did you do it?
I dragged the wolf on top of you. So now under wild shape, you've got an attack melee +4, 2d4 +2 piercing. The effect would be prone. The strength saves DC 11. All that good stuff.
Does it have the
Pack tactics.
Yeah.
No, but you would just need to remember that it's got it. If you go to NPCs, you should be able to look up wolf. You could just have that thing side by side. I don't think it puts in. Oh no, it does. You've got
So I
keen
have
hearing.
advantage.
You have keen hearing and smell, and then pack tactics is right there underneath it.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, dope.
Yep, and that
Oh,
lasts.
I love this thing.
Oh, it's saves both of our butts.
Yeah.
How long does that last? How long does wild shape last?
Jordan,
Yes, I know.
why are you gonna ask me questions about my abilities?
Because we're learning together. It's a
What's
friend.
reading?
It's a friendly
I
table.
already. Yeah, I know. Hang on. I lost the page. Oh, I guess I can look at it. It should say in here, right? Wild shape. Link. No, it does not.
Let's see. Wild shape. Boo-doo, boo-doo,
I think
boo.
it's half my level in hours. But let me.
That sounds about. You can stay for number hours equal to
Half
half.
your druid
Yep.
level rounded down. Yeah.
So for the next hour, you can be, or no, next 2 hours.
2 hours.
You can be a wolf until you obviously lose
Wolf.
the hit points. So, just keep that in mind. Last thing I need you to do is, because you did wild shape, down next in under your circle of the moon actions, there's 2 little bubbles. I need you to fill one of those in. Perfect.
And then remind me about wild shape. If my wild shape gets taken out by points, when I turn back into Mara centaur form, I don't have those points reduced from my hit points, right?
Right. So right now
Okay.
you can see on the combat tracker you have 18 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Once those are chewed through, wolf joke, then any spillover damage will hurt you. So
Right.
if it's 20, you take 2, and then you would pop out of wolf form.
Okay. But I wouldn't, if it was 20, I wouldn't be down to 13.
Correct.
Okay.
It says your speed is 0. I think that's incorrect. I think it's also a wolf is 40. Pretty sure. So, but we'll worry about that when we get back around to your next turn. And it is 40 feet, so it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same as yours. Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Excellent. Here's what happens. Shooty McShootface blows that horn.
No, Jordan.
No.
The response horn is much closer than you believe that it is. Easily, you are able to finish off Prudence. You were able to finish off Shooty McShootface, and probably punch the horn down his throat, killing him. And with Mara as a wolf, Jolene as a dragon, and Patches as a hillbilly, managed to topple Patches' best friend and you guys quickly manage to take care of that. But unfortunately for you, the next wave is much closer due to how long the combat has gone, which has only really gone about 30 seconds. But you do not have time for a short rest. You might have a minute before any of them get remotely close to begin, and you don't even know what their numbers, any of that. So, here's what we're going to do. We are effectively out of combat, but there is still danger looming within, not too far away. So what do you guys do for this minute?
Can we discuss out of character what we want to do, and then we can roleplay it?
Discuss. Let me know when you're ready. We'll start with Sin, and we'll just go in initiative order just to figure out what everyone's doing.
They all dropped their weapons, so if we need ranged weapons, if anyone's good at that, we at least have something we can use.
Part of me thinks that maybe a retreat wouldn't be a horrible idea.
Especially Leoxton and Prudence, like at least pulling back towards the cart. It's a pretty good idea, I think, to leave people on top of the tower, especially if there's been 2 instances of bugbears trying to get up and in. That's pretty vulnerable, so it's a good idea to leave somebody up there.
We're all doing really well. There's none of us have taken really much of anything or at all, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps we could take the horses and hide them behind the tower. Horse and cart.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if we have much
But we
time.
only have a minute.
We only have a minute, and who's to say they're not going to come to the back of the tower?
Do we know what direction the horn came from?
Well, from Prudence probably heard it best because it was right up the road.
So they're coming down the road towards us.
Yeah, it's the road that you haven't gone on yet because that's further north. You know where they said that the attacks and everything were happening? They are coming down from that road. You have not journeyed on that road yet.
Okay, hold. Consider. What if we hide the horses and then hide in the forest and do a sneak attack?
What? Poppy, you can speak to animals, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell the horses to run and hide and then take them off their harnesses?
Ooh.
That's a good idea.
Like, don't just like give them their head and tell them to go home, but tell them to go and like get somewhere safe, and we'll come and find them or something, and then.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. I will submit that one other person would have to help with undoing the harnesses, but in order for all that for them to be loose in the minute. But that's definitely doable. That's a good idea.
Assuming Leoxton can get back in that time, he would help starting to. But instead of giving Poppy or imagine he's trying to like slap their asses and yell at them, and Poppy's trying to talk to them.
The horse likes it. Oh no, what are you gonna do? It wants to stay.
Alright, guess we're gonna have to roll for horny.
Leave the horses out of this.
Oh no.
What you deserve.
Out of 100, I roll a 1. I can't even do it on a 100-sided die.
Are you Clint
That's an ace
McElroy?
horse.
Yeah.
That horse does not want this. Leave it alone.
That is Laurence, and he's like, "Get your hands off me, you filthy man!"
Leoxton looks at Poppy. Did that horse just yell at me?
Yeah. Okay, so we unharness the horses from the broiler, and then tell them to go run and hide and get somewhere safe. And then the cart is just sitting there.
Yeah, it would make it a lot harder for them to steal it.
They can't move that thing. It needs 4 horses to be moved.
Also, yes.
I mean, they could try,
There's
but
no way they have 4 horses.
it would take them a lot. Sorry.
Well, when you unharness them, you left the harnesses on them. You just disconnected it from the cart, right? So
Okay,
you
Leoxton,
don't even have the apparatus to connect more horses.
Leoxton, can you smack the broiler on the ass and tell it to run away somewhere safe? We'll come find it later.
He does. He hurts his hand.
Oh no, disadvantage.
But like having the horses run off, even if they catch the horses somehow and bring them back, it would still take them a much longer to rally
Right,
the
well,
horse.
tell the horses to run the opposite direction.
Yeah. But please come back at some point. We have food.
But yeah,
here.
don't go too far.
But
We'll
that
come
would
find you.
definitely make the cart a lot less valuable. So they would either try to like. We don't know their purpose of attacking, so they would either like attack it to stop whatever we're doing, or focus on the tower. So I think it would be. We should stay in the front of the tower, near the cart, so that way we can like defend both options. That being whoever's still on the ground.
Did I capture one of the hobgoblins for Victor?
They're sentient.
They're
Can you capture an elf for Victor?
Prudence before this mission was like, I don't know, guys, should we just be fighting hobgoblins? And now she's like, can we capture them and take them back?
That was
Tendi has
Angie.
a
What if I
Tendi
rip
has a
one's
canonical
arm off?
fear. Tendi genuinely is scared that Angie, the player, is going to take Tendi to Victor to be put in a cage.
You know, desperate times.
Prudence is real
If she
good.
wants to get in behind closed doors with Victor, she fucking will.
Well, I believe that to be true because she already has put in motion having Sin investigated.
Angie.
Angie.
Mara
For
knew she
serious?
was right and not trusting her.
I'm
Mara
gonna
knew.
do a bardic inspiration on Prudence for sure
Thank you.
when we get to back into RP. There's not much that I can do preemptively, but I'll do my best.
so
All
I've
right,
heard-
so we've
I've heard-
decided we're sending the horses out south. We're leaving the cart where it is, and Leofston and Prudence are retreating back. And that's all we've decided so far. Anything else?
If we're looking at the map, I want to say south is the path leading back to the road. You might want to do that. Send them east into the forest, or west,
East?
west,
Okay.
west into the forest.
Sorry, I was under the
Should I-
assumption they were coming north, so I just wanted to send them the opposite direction.
Should I send Wicket with the horses so that we can know where they are?
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a
Yeah,
good idea.
that's a great idea.
good job, Skylar. Yeah,
thank
big
you.
smart brain.
You know, it's Monday, so, you know, like normally it's not that good, but, you know, it's cool.
Garfield hates Mondays.
And I would still suggest one or two people stay upstairs, or have Mara and Patches stay upstairs, and then have
Yeah.
Poppy dance between as needed.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Anything else we want to add?
Can the
Yes.
wolf see out the window?
You, the wolf?
Yeah. Is the wolf tall enough or the window low enough?
Stand on your back legs.
Well, you'd be at the top of the tower, right?
Yeah,
Or
you're.
was it like the top?
Yeah,
tippy
yeah,
top?
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said there's that lip, and that's why it was hard for some people to shoot up there.
What did you want to add, Mayan?
I was just gonna say Sin can use his final spell for Fairy Fire when he sees the group get up here.
I've got Fairy Fire as well.
Me too.
If needed.
Fairly
Can
certain
I-
of it.
Can I spread caltrops on the ground?
Okay, we're adding more and more stuff, so I want to make sure.
Well, it's Poppy and Leofston that are doing the horse thing, so
Okay.
that leaves the rest of us. I mean, Prudence is going to retreat,
Right,
unless
which
that's
is
the
fine.
only thing I can do.
No. You'll be able to get back.
Oh, I
if
don't
you-
even have caltrops. Never mind.
I have
We could throw a bus
20
at them.
caltrops.
Throw them on the ground.
No,
Why not? When are you ever going to use them?
to scare myself,
Okay.
to keep me from sleepwalking. I don't think Jordan will let me throw caltrops from the top of the tower. In my wolf paws.
Right. No.
In this time, my form of dread does drop, but I can hex his concentration for up to an hour, so that would still be up, I think.
Nice.
Mhm.
Can you cast Dread again, or you need a rest?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
Just one more time.
Does Hex always need something to be hexed?
I don't know, because whenever something drops, I can use my bonus action to move it to something else. For the amount of time that I have it concentrated on. I don't know how it works off of the person, though.
If the target drops to 0 before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on subsequent. Yeah, I just say, as long as it's concentration up to the hour, then any turn you take after they drop is a subsequent turn. So it's all good.
Since I was already on the way to accomplish the goal, can I have my other 2 axes?
You have your axes back. Yep. Okay.
Why don't we start from the top?
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Okay. Cool. That works.
Jamie just went to the bathroom real quick.
It's too bad she's last, so it's fine anyways.
Be nice.
So Sin, you get your axes back. Where are you going to be?
After Sin gets his axes back and gets back with the group and is told what is going on, he is going to. Would you say, Prudence, you're going to be? How far do you retreat away?
She comes back within the walls of the Griffon Tower.
Okay. Sin
Not
is
inside the tower, like the outside walls. Sorry.
okay. Sin is going to be. He's probably going to be closer than everybody else. But that way he can get the spell off as soon as he can see them.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that if Prudence is back behind the walls, Sin is going to be. Is there something like I guess I could just use like a tree for cover.
We need to clarify. Prudence, are you behind the tower?
No. I was under the impression that I had ran out like onto the road, so I'm going back into the courtyard.
Right. We're like basically around where the arch is.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Does that help you inform you a little bit more?
It does, and so then if that's the case, then I'll just be I'll be my running distance away from Prudence towards the threat, so that after I get that off, I can run and jump behind the same cover as she's in.
I think she's just around there. I don't think she's purposely in cover, but we can figure that out when we get to her turn. But okay. So you have your axes, and you are at least a movement from the arch.
Yep.
Okay. Keep that in mind where you're at.
Yep.
Any last chance to say anything else before I go to the next person?
That's it.
Okay. I need to make a quick note.
Wait. Boobies.
Very important to know.
Definitely have to mark this episode not for kids.
Like all the other ones are fine, but for some reason.
Say hi to Meredith. She wants to start listening to our sessions.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Mayor. All right.
Hello.
Let's see. Okay. Tendi.
So, do you mind real quick? Because we don't have a visual of the cart, right? Is it like a like an Oregon Trail kind of covered cart? That's what I was picturing.
Essentially, yeah. It's covered. It's got the big giant emblem on the side, on both sides that say Beckett's Monster Hunter Guild. Nobody matters but Beckett, or at least that's what you thought it read, but it actually just says like Zobek Monster Hunter Guild. And
I
then,
thought it looked like a smoker.
I
thought you said it was like metal and had different compartments, so I thought it looked like a big smoker.
yeah, it's like a giant, large drunk tank. Think about it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, that changes what I was
Capable of
thinking.
holding a large creature, 2 medium creatures, or 8 small creatures, I believe. I have to go back and check.
Is there a way, if I were to get into the cart, would I be able to kind of see vaguely where everybody's at?
Getting into the cart would mean the seats of the cart? There's-
Yeah.
Are you trying to Trojan horse it?
Actually, no. You know what? I want to get under the cart.
Okay. Sounds like you are wanting to avoid being detected.
Yes.
Okay. Need you to make me a stealth check.
Oh, I should have thought as to if I'm even fucking
Always
good
getting
at
under
that.
vehicles.
It's easy enough to get under the vehicle. That's no problem. It's going to be an extra 5 feet of movement to get out from underneath the vehicle, but that's fine. All right. So Tendi has a 16 stealth. Okay. So you are hiding underneath the cart. Patches is Patches. He's going to attempt to hide up there too, just in case they don't know that he's up there. Maybe if anything, he'll be able to get one good shot off of whoever is the worst looking, the ugliest. He murmurs to Wolf Mara. He gets
Her.
a 10. Okay. We then go to Leofston. Leofston, what are you doing during this minute? You are helping with the, let's say you help with the horses and Poppy, and then you have like a little time to do something, like get in position where you want to be.
The lines in the trees, that's the cart, right?
Yes.
So
you're
Leost-
parked underneath the tree, yeah.
Okay, Leoston is standing like really close to the edge of what we can see of the map. Like he is in front of the archway, but still like in front of both archway and the cart, but within a distance that he can like jaunt over in case something hits it.
So you're you're close to Sin then.
Yes. I'm trying to decide if I want to prepare. I think I have one of my javelins still. If not, I have the axe.
If not, Sin has 10 javelins. Just ask him for one.
Help a brother out.
He's like a walking caddy on a golf course.
My inventory has one, so what would it take to? Would it be a full action to pick my sword back up? Like I want him to prepare a javelin to throw as they're coming in.
So here's what you do: you'd sheath your sword, right?
Huh?
You have enough time to pull the javelin out and have it at the ready. So then when you were able to throw a javelin, you haven't, during your turn, you haven't drawn a weapon as part of your action, so then you can draw your sword.
And it would be my action.
That'd be part of your turn. Right? It's not an action itself to draw a weapon.
Okay. Just the shield.
It would be if it was like your second weapon you were drawing. Like,
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Billy Austin is going to position next to Sin and put Landbreaker away and pull the javelin off his back and prepare it for, prep it for throwing. That's it.
All right. Sounds good. Prudence. What are you doing?
Man, I have so many ideas,
Well,
and I don't know which one I want to go with. One of them was doing a block and tackle and then dropping, like, I don't know, some sort of heavy object, but I don't think I have time for that.
probably not.
The other option was putting a hunting trap down and, like, maybe capturing one and interrogating it, but I don't know if they can talk.
What a stressful minute for Prudence.
I know, she has so many ideas for how to make things suffer.
The enemies are marching on the Griffon Tower. You don't know how many. You don't know what.
Don't know why or where or who. The other idea was to like go into the tower and like question them. Jordan.
What?
It's so difficult.
Yeah, I know.
What if I held up my glass kaleidoscope lucky charm, held it up to the sun, and then set the forest on fire.
I think Moss would hate that. You should just call me Ojin.
Yeah, I mean, Moss wouldn't be the only person that would hate that. I think your relationship status with Mara would be absolutely tanked.
I am just joking. I'm not going to set a forest fire. Only I can prevent them.
Wait, I was told only I could. Okay.
Wait. Wait.
Let's not split hairs here, but I was there. Okay, I saw. He said it to me. Okay.
He looked in my eyes and held my hand and brought it up to his lips and said, "Only you can prevent forest fires."
Of course he did.
In his heart.
I said the flames of his heart. I want them to burn brightly and forevermore.
Anyways, Prudence, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I had an idea. Oh, wait, okay. Do you think a dart could destroy one of their horns?
You would have to.
Like, would it shatter it?
You'd have to hit it, and a dart does what? 1d4 plus your dex.
1d4 piercing.
That it doesn't add anything to it. It's just 1d4. No, it's 1d4 plus 3 piercing. It's possible. You've only heard one other horn response. That's from.
You know what? I'm gonna use my dragon hide belt and recover, hopefully, 3 key points.
That sounds like a very smart idea. Good job.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just want to do something unconventional and cool,
Well, okay,
but it always ends up being difficult.
Here's what's cool about that. You guys do not have time for a short rest.
We can't get any of our stuff back that we've lost.
And that's why I've been tickled when everyone's like, I'm going to use everything I possibly have. So, that is cool, because you're using your magic item to gain back what you normally couldn't in key points. So, for those who are listening, hi Mare, Prudence has a dragonhide belt that she had found that lets her be able to use an action, which you can easily do during this minute, to regain key points equal to a roll of your martial arts die, which is a d4. So I need you to roll me a 4-sided die to see how many key points you get back until the next morning.
That's weak.
You get back 1.
Jordan?
Angie.
Imagine, though.
You're going to talk to me about rolling ones. That's what we're gonna have that conversation right now. You get back a key point.
Angie, he rolled a 1 on a D100. I think you did fine.
I couldn't roll less than a 1. I couldn't roll a 0.
I would have taken a 25%. You kids these days are ungrateful with your D4s.
Is it? Should I be doing my bardic inspiration before the fight or as an action at the beginning of the fight? I said that I was going to, but I don't know when.
I'll let you bardic inspire one person.
Sick.
Sin? Okay.
No, sick.
Put it up. Put it on sick. I mean sin.
You mean prudence?
Okay. Now you're confusing me.
Well, she said sick. Sick, and then you heard sin.
And then everyone said, no, she said sick. And then I said prudence, and you put it on sin.
Okay, put it on prudence.
Men only want one thing, and it's bardic inspiration on sin, and it's fucking disgusting.
Men only want one thing, and that's a microphone that doesn't cut out at the end of your sentence, and it's disgusting. All right. Is he inspired? Is she?
No, I'm inspired.
Is she inspired? Got it. Found it. Okay, got it.
Pay attention.
Listen, this isn't the Prudence show. All right, Poppy, you have, with the aid of Leofston, you have set the horses. Laurence and Kenneth thank you as they were scared, and will make sure to be the more adult horses in this situation and watch over the two new ones in the forest at a safe distance.
Okay. And then I'm going to send Wicket after them.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep an eye on them and know where they are. And report back if anything bad happens. And then I'm going to, at this point, I don't want to. At what point in the minute are we?
You have a minute. What would you like to do?
Okay. Okay.
You're all doing stuff at the same time, so you have a minute. I'd say you have time to be able to put yourself in a possibly advantageous position.
Okay. I'm going to fly up. No. Is everyone else hiding? What's everyone else doing?
Sin is not hiding. Tendi is hiding. Patches is hiding. Leofton is also not hiding. Prudence is not hiding. And now we're to you.
Okay, I want to fly up to, like 30 feet up, and I want to be within 90 feet of where I think they might be coming out. And then...
To a clarifying question.
Yeah.
So I have said a couple times they're more than likely marching down the road, which is a good 150 plus feet away from the tower. So you would probably guess that's what I'm assuming that's not where you want to be. I'm assuming you want to be close to the tower.
I want to be close to where they are, but also close to the tower, so like in between the two. So I could fly in between.
Okay.
If something happens somewhere.
I would say that would be 60 feet away from the tower, which would be 60 to 90ish feet away from where they would be coming onto the path.
Okay, that's all I need. I just need within 90 feet of the guys, for my hex.
Okay.
And then towards, like, the very, very end of the minute, I'm going to use my second and final form of dread.
Is it a bonus action to use?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just say that you hold you hold an action to activate that then, upon seeing them.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just so I have this clear, Sin is not hiding. Tendi has a 16 on stealth. Patch is a 10 on stealth. Leofton prepares javelin next to Sin, which is a great spell. Prudence recovers 1 key point with Dragonhide belt. Poppy flies 30 feet in the air, like vertically, and 60 feet from the tower. And then you're going to cast, you're going to basically activate Form of Dread when you see them.
Mm-hmm. Which, is it fine if I put that on now?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go ahead and just put that right there.
Sin is also, I don't know if I made it clear or not, but he is, like, when he sees a big enough group of them, he's going to cast the Fairy Fire.
Okay. Alright, let's make sure I get that music queued up, sorry. Alright, so, this minute passes, and as the minute passes, you begin to hear the marching of feet. They make no attempt to hide themselves. For Sin, Leofton, Tendi, Prudence, for you guys that can see down the path, you see a small retinue, again, quite a distance away, of more hobgoblins, but no bugbears. These hobgoblins are a bit better armored. At least the, hold on, let me see, let me get the number correct. There are 4 hobgoblins in front wearing devilish-looking masks with horns, raising, curled up, sort of like a tiefling's, and ears that are even longer and elongated than Hobgoblin's very own ears. It's sort of like a mix. It's like a mixture of a Hobgoblin and a dragon in terms of the masks that they wear. And they do not wear armor. They are wearing simple cloths with flowing ribbons of clothes, allowing them for maximum movement. They carry no weapons on them except for a belt of small darts. They are marching about, let's see, the path was what, 20 feet wide? They are about 10, or there's 1, 5 feet, 1, 5 feet, 1, 5 feet, 1. And the two are walking through the grass, kind of looking around, seeing if anyone is hiding in the grass, starting from like when they turn the corner and begin marching. The two behind them are 10 feet apart, sort of in between the two. The front row of these clothed hobgoblins, and they are very well armored. You would guess, perhaps maybe not, judging by parts of them that are exposed, they're not wearing full plate armor, but they are very heavily armored. They don't carry a shield. Instead, they carry some javelins on their back, and they are both holding a great sword over each of their shoulders. And they make their appearance very well known, and they begin to march into at least up to 120 feet, which again is just 30 feet into the path, before you hear in Goblin a quick yell, and all the four marching in front stop. And the two hobgoblins in the back kind of look, and they can see you, and you can see them. Sin, are you wanting to cast this now, or you want to wait till they get closer?
They're within 60 feet.
No, they're not yet.
They're not yet. Okay, because I would need them to be closer.
Okay.
So that I'm waiting.
Yep, that works. They stand there for about 20 seconds.
I had a question, out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Are hobgoblins only able to speak in their own language?
No. They are able to speak another language, which will be apparent in a few seconds.
Oh. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is maybe I go out and talk to them.
That's a call you would need to make now.
I make it now. I call it.
How many languages do you know?
Celestial, Common, and Infernal.
Okay. Well, I'll at least give you this. As you're debating, now that you've seen them stop, a moment passes in your head where maybe you think that perhaps diplomacy is still possible when you hear one of the hobgoblins from the back row speak in common.
We are here to raid your tower. You are to give up your supplies, gold, or we will not stop. We will not rest.
Until Jordan coughs his lungs out.
It's a rough voice, buddy.
I know.
I see you have taken some of our own. But you're weary. You are not prepared for this. Tell your merchantmen to come out in the next minute, or we will begin an unnecessary slaughter.
Leos looks at Prudence.
The four in the front join their hands like this. Just give a bow.
I'm thinking.
So, while you're thinking, here's something to think on. Something I've been kind of tickled to use, and I gotta find it. One of my runes gives me persuasion deception. I have to find it because for some reason they're all slammed into the same descriptions.
What are you looking up?
I was looking at my rune, but I realized it's actually my sentinel. Intuition. No, wait. I have a thing that makes me good at lying. I'm trying to find it.
How many did you say there were? 4 monks?
Let's say there are monks.
Well, in my head, they're monks. Sure look like monks. Sure smell like monks.
There are 4 in the front, wearing no armor, and there are 2 in the back. They are, again, the 4 in the front allow 5 feet of space between each of them, which basically stretches them out to the length, just beyond the length of the actual path itself. And the 2 hobgoblins are centered in the back with 10 feet between them. They are about 10, there's a 5 foot of space between their row and the row with the hobgoblins in the front.
Can I ask a question about the world overall?
Sure.
They said they want gold. Is that a normal thing? I don't think I've ever experienced hobgoblins in a game. I think... Isn't the Wanderer... Is he a bugbear?
He's a bugbear.
Okay. Are hobgoblins, like, members of society? Like, is them wanting specifically gold weird? Or is that just a normal thing?
Remind me first, have you done any sort of knowledge check on hobgoblins?
I don't think I have.
Perfect, okay.
I will be doing very shortly, though.
No, I'll let you...
That's why Tendy's hiding.
I'll let you do it now as you're kind of... as this conversation is happening. Because you guys have another minute. Although I threw actually timing that minute out the window. Whichever is higher between your history or your nature, I'll let you roll a knowledge check.
18.
Okay.
Nice. Good job.
Let's see.
Like, maybe we can barter with them if it's money they want. I just don't know if that's weird.
Maya and I have another idea, if you guys want to hear it.
Well, hold on.
After you're done with what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm going to read this to you because this just seems too cool not to read. And then I will answer a few things you'll get to know. Either, and I'll have you choose between the hobgoblins in the front or the hobgoblins behind. This is a story that you've heard about hobgoblins. War horns sound, stones fly from catapults, and the thunder of 1,000 booted feet echoes across the land as hobgoblins march to battle. Across the borderlands of civilization, settlements and settlers must contend with these aggressive humanoids whose thirst for conquest is never satisfied. They have dark orange or red-orange skin, hair ranging from dark red-brown to dark gray. Yellow or brown or dark brown eyes peer out underneath their beating brows, and their wide mouths sport sharp and yellowed teeth. The hobgoblin measures virtue by physical strength and martial prowess, caring nothing except the opportunity to demonstrate skill and cunning in battle. They are often very militaristic, organized, and disciplined. They take exceptional care of their weapons and personal possessions. They do favor the bold colors and trim their uniforms with blood red piping and leather dyed black. It is not strange to think that their request for gold simply could be from the fact that that's the currency. If they wish to purchase things from others, it would make sense that they're doing a raid for supplies and such. Now, You can either glean a little bit of information from the hobgoblins in the back or the hobgoblins in the front. Which would you choose?
The ones in the front.
Ones in the front. Okay.
Remind me though, are the ones I would like to do the ones that have like the needles, not the armored ones, which I think the armored ones you said were in the back. Is that correct?
I sure did, yep.
Okay.
These hobgoblins are a very rare class of hobgoblin. You've only heard them in like nightmarish tales, and even then you may have heard one story about them. Not much is known about the Iron Shadow hobgoblins. Not a clan. They are just a sort of a more focused and ascended sort of hobgoblin that focuses on martial arts, and they serve Fey and mortal courts as secret police, scouts, and assassins. You can know, with an 18, you can know three things about it. Now remember, you can ask, what is it good at in terms of like saving throws? What is it bad at? What is its most notable offensive? Like what's an attack that you've heard in stories in the ages past? Or what are its? Does it have resistances? Does it have immunities? Things of that nature. Now, if you ask and there are none, then the answer would be there are none. But that's still information. So anything you can think of. You
said 2?
3.
Or just 1?
3.
3. Okay. The first one. Oh, all 3 of them at once.
I couldn't. If you were saying the first one, I couldn't hear you.
The first one.
What? The first one that I said?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That clarifies it. So, what are they good at in terms of saving throws?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna need you to repeat it because I'm not gonna remember what I said 2 seconds ago. Iron Shadows are their ability to avoid and evade danger reflexively is, in their own circles, pretty legendary. They're very good at dexterity. They're very dexterous. Thing number 2.
I feel like one of them was if they have resistances.
You guys can help her out if there's something that's not just her.
I have a very hard time remembering when you list things, but I think one of them was resistances.
Okay, so you want to know if they were resistant to anything?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Last one.
What do you guys think for the last one?
Is a question like, can they be reasoned with, a question you can ask?
No, but I will tell you that typically, I'll tell Tendi that typically hobgoblins are lawful, but not in the good way like you want. They are lawful evil. And the Iron Shadows are also lawful, but more towards neutrality. They typically follow whoever has hired them. They follow their orders. They do not balance morality. They do what they are told.
Okay.
I'll give you that one as a freebie.
Maybe ask for weaknesses.
Yeah.
Was that resistances?
No. Resistances is
Okay.
what they can resist against you.
Oh, shit. I picked wrong then. Okay, weaknesses for the last one.
Okay. They have no weaknesses.
Hmm.
You will find
Not
out.
even weak ankles or chocolate?
You will. I'm going to give you this as a freebie. You'll find that many humanoid type creatures don't necessarily have any, and granted, there's a few outliers, but very, very few of them have resistances and or weaknesses.
Okay.
So,
Can I relay that to Prudence using message?
using message, yes. 25 words sent. Prudence, you were able to get that relatively easily. If you want to type up the words you want to send, Tendi. But for everyone else, the hobgoblins have seemed to make their demand pretty clear. Do any of you do anything?
Austin kind of has the ear towards Prudence to see what she wants to do.
Are Leostin and I able to talk? Because, I mean, the hobgoblins did give us a whole minute.
Well, not anymore. That minute is up.
I'd say it's about 30 seconds, but you are not next to Leofton, so if you do talk, they'll be able to hear you.
Can Mara start heading downstairs? Or can
Yes.
she go downstairs?
Yeah, you can be able to head downstairs.
Thank you.
You're going to need to fight.
I want to, you know what, Jordan? I want to try to go talk to him. And I'm gonna gesture for Leofston to come with me.
He'll follow.
Okay.
As we're walking towards them, Prudence will really quickly just give him the breakdown of what Tendi said and say, I think that we should try to impress them with strength, or perhaps trick them.
What comes to mind?
You see the hobgoblins up front raise up a halting hand as you reach Leofston and walk about 10 feet forward as you say this more in closer, quieter breath. So they don't hear what you say, but you see the hands come up, because I'm assuming you're probably not at least taking your eyes off of them.
Right.
Okay. Their hands raise, and the other hobgoblin in the back goes,
Advance forward anymore, and that means we fight.
I wish to talk to you, the one in the back, hiding behind the clothed ones.
And we wish to get gold, and you seem to kill some of our men.
Yes, it was quite easy. What did it take you? I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute to get here? We disposed of them. Quite simply, quite easily, just as we will do with you.
And what is it you think you're trying to do, miss?
Well, if you are apt for a conversation, come closer, and we will talk.
You will talk with my sword.
Sometimes words are stronger than a sword, hobgoblin. Entertain me, or are you too scared for a talk?
you see one of the Iron Shadow hobgoblins turn around and you cannot see them. You can't see it, but they are moving their hands. And the other hobgoblin looks and goes,
Judging by your looks and your stance, you will also be entertained. Minutes up.
and they begin to advance towards you guys.
You didn't even let me roll anything, Jordan.
Well, that's
So
why I'm
stinky.
asking you what you were trying to do, Stinky. What are you trying to do? Persuade them?
Intimidate.
Intimidate them. Okay, roll intimidation.
Can I add on? Like, can Leofton help intimidate?
How did you help?
He's really scary looking.
How?
Looking.
What if I help him instead with your rune thing? And you just sit there with your arms crossed looking sexy and cool.
So my rune thing is actually, I found it now. I lost it again. My rune says I have advantage at charisma deception, but I also have pretty high intimidation. So what would you like me to use?
Intimidation.
All right, so
And this is for which room?
Cloud. Cloud is the charisma deception, but I just use my regular intimidation. I think it's high. I don't know. I have no reference. Guess my athletics is better, but that's not gonna help me here. Trying to think of what Leoth's did. As they step forward. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna use my charisma. As they step forward, Leofston takes one step forward in return to kind of like get in front of Prudence, and he shouts, "My name is Jarl Leofston, and I have a crew of about..." He kind of like looks over his shoulder and kind of like bobs his head, kind of like as if he's like counting or something in his head. 30 warriors waiting behind the tower. Now, if my name doesn't mean anything to you, it will very soon when it's the last thing you whisper when my sword goes through your throat. Now, you could try us, and we could single-handedly, very aptly, very, there, he kind of like looks at Prudence and kind of like does the, I'm trying to think of a word thing again, agilely take care of you. Now, you look formidable, and you sound relatively smart. Turn around, go away, and keep your lives to steal gold another day. Or you could try us, but I will say I have one of the most venerable veteran crews to have sailed the seas and to watch on land and to destroy.
It's true.
I'm gonna stop. Hold on. I'm gonna stop you there. That was quite a bit for 30 seconds. But
Sorry.
no, you're good. I will let you roll deception with advantage.
It was a really good speech, though.
Thank you. All right.
It was
how
a
do
very
I
good speech, but the hobgoblins aren't going to sit around watching the second act of Jarl Leofston's.
just roll.
They're like, is he monologuing? He's monologuing.
Sly dog, you caught me monologuing. So you'll click the advantage button on the modifiers, and then you will double click to roll your deception. So it should roll that with advantage.
I believe in you. You can do this. The option is so cool.
A 16. Or do I need to roll again?
No.
Okay.
You rolled a 15 and a 12, and it dropped to 12.
Okay.
During your speech, the same Iron Shadow hobgoblin turns its back to you, both. Makes a few more hand gestures, to which the hobgoblin that you were deceiving, or attempting to deceive, smiles, adjusts his shoulder pad, and the other Iron Shadow turns around as you hear a word in Goblin, and they begin to walk forward.
What are the hand? Is that like a language? Like, would we know what the hand gestures are, or is that just a vague thing that we wouldn't know about?
You wouldn't be able to see it because their back is turned.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you it's sign language, but you can't see it.
Okay.
I also looks down to Prudence. I did my best.
She shrugs. Well, I'm not one to turn down a fight.
All right. Let's see. Let me go ahead and name these real quick. Finish naming these so we can have... Let's see.
I was expecting a fight immediately, so that's why I did my form of dread, so it's gone now.
Okay. Let's see. Alright, we're going to keep the same initiative that we're at. It's another good. Let's see, hold on. Go ahead and reveal them to everybody. Sin, you see that they begin to... Mara, I'm going to say you make it to the bottom back door by the time your turn comes.
Okay, thank you.
So let's go ahead and go to... Poppy, you get a message from Wicket. Horses are safe for now.
Okay, good.
Sin.
They're in a field of wheat.
Sin, they have begun their approach. They are 120 feet out, so it is going to be a bit of time before they're within the range that you're wanting to cast Fairy Fire. And if they keep the same formations that they are in, you will probably get a significant less amount of them. Maybe 2, 3? Which isn't bad.
Okay, if that's the case, then Sin is going to make his way I'm gonna say he nope. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. Maybe I'll stay in some kind of cover if there's cover nearby. Then I will get ready to cast that spell and capture at least the 2 or the 3 or whatever it ends up being.
Okay. You can certainly find a tree nearby that you could be able to get cover on. You notice that none of them, I mean, other than the darts that these masked hobgoblins are wearing, you don't see any ranged weapons that the ironclad ones are, except for the javelins. So you could certainly find cover and be able to get at least 2/3 now if they were to range attack you, or when they get closer, it might be only a +2 until they get within melee range.
Okay. So I'm holding that spell for when they get up on it.
Okay. Go ahead and end your turn there. Okay. The Hobgoblin Iron Shadow, known as Hitter, is going to go ahead and move up 40 feet. It slowly and methodically takes each of its steps carefully on the dirty ground, but it doesn't dash. It slowly makes its way forward. Tendi.
Cindy's gonna hold an action.
Okay, what do you wish to hold?
Like, what action do I want to hold?
Mm-hmm.
Or what am I holding for?
Like, so when you hold, you would be holding to do X when Y happens. So, are you wanting to cast a spell, or are you wanting to stab with a dagger? What is it you're wanting to, like, hold your action to do? And then what is the trigger that would cause you to do that action?
I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to hold my action so that I could have more time to come up with a good plan.
Okay. Well, then you could just pass your turn.
And if I pass it, I can't put myself back in the initiative, right?
It would just come back
I'm
around.
losing the turn.
Right, it would just come back around. You can dodge. Dodging is always a good thing, where if you don't want... I mean, right now you are hidden. You are hiding underneath the cart, so...
What does Tendi want to do? Does she want to embolden somebody? Does she want to fight? Or does she want to hide? Is she scared?
The way that I'm seeing it, Tendi needs to see what's going on first. I have a lot of spells. They're all good, but I need to see who I'm going to use them on first. So I kind of want to see what they're going to do. And technically, I used the Bardic Inspiration on Prudence. So can I count that as my turn and then just watch?
Sure. Can you only Bardic Inspiration one person at a time?
I think so. Hang on, let me check. I know I can only do so many a day. Let me look.
Okay. I will say that I let you Bardic Inspiration before you hid because you're still hiding. You don't know whether they see you or not, but at least you are hiding. And if they can't see you, then that is beneficial. But if you were to do Bardic Inspiration now, that would obviously give up where you're at.
Yes, correct. So I'm not doing that. I already did that.
Okay. So dodging would be just as good of an action in that case. In the event that they do see you, and the event that they do get to you, which is going to be real hard, and attack you, so a lot of things have to happen, then they would also have disadvantage against it. So you can, from underneath the cart, you can see, and you've heard all the transactions, so you see one of them begin to walk closer. So
Remind me, the one that's walking closer, that's a big boy.
nope.
That's a big armored boy.
Unarmored boy.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll do that.
Let me just go ahead and put for Harbinger and Rough Ian, I'm going to put them as armored in the combat tracker, so you should be able to see that.
Oh, I'm glad, because I would have immediately been like, oh yeah, Basher is very clearly someone with armor on.
Yep. If you guys are looking at those and you're like, hold on, who's who? Then if I didn't do a good job naming convention wise, then as long as you're not picking me apart for going, Hitter looks a little bit like the guy who ran Germany for a bit, and I don't like that.
No.
Damn it, I was gonna make the joke.
Well, too late.
Stole it from me. How
Yep.
could you?
I'm a thief. I'll steal your heart.
It's already stolen.
Me.
All right. So anything? So you are gonna remain hidden underneath the cart, Tendi, and you're gonna dodge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't there a thing that I can do where I just like observe for a turn?
And like gather information.
Yeah, I feel like there's a thing where if I watch a creature for a certain period of time, I can potentially get something good from it, but I don't remember if that's true.
I believe it's observant and the ability to read lips.
Is it like Sherlock and his mind powers?
If you can see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. But that's
I guess it's a
Even
vague
if they're
D&D thing.
speaking
It's like a
the same
D&D.
language.
It's like if you're around something long enough, or you watch something long enough, something. But I don't know. Skip it. Doesn't matter.
yeah. You'd have to try to look that up to let me know because I'm not familiar with that. All right. The armored hobgoblin begins to stretch out its arm, kind of while it's holding its great sword, showing that it's able to hold a pretty good, large great sword at length for an extended period of time, and cracks his neck as he also begins to advance. Now he only moves up. He is not nearly as quick and agile as the unarmored goblins. Gee, I wonder why. So he only moves up 30 feet, but he doesn't dash. He just slowly, methodically moves up. So at this point, just so we have clarity, by the end of all of the monks, we're just going to call them monks. At the end of the monks' turns, they are going to be 80 feet away. And the armored boys are going to be 90 feet away because they move 10 feet less. And they are not rushing into to combat. Patches is sort of can hear the exchange, and I'm going to say until he can see them, which is probably going to be that 60 feet, he's just gonna he's gonna give up on hiding. He's just gonna go ahead and draw a bow, and he will hold. Each turn he'll hold to fire until he can see one of them, and if he hears, if he sees other people getting into combat, he's not just gonna like wait, and then if you guys go, yeah, come closer so we can talk, and then he just fires an arrow and goes, sorry, I didn't mean that, apologies. So he's gonna hold until he sees combat happen, and like if they act in an aggressive manner, if that makes sense. Basher the monk is going to also walk ahead 40 feet and stop. They take, you notice that they take sort of a stance. The stance differs between the monks and the armored, but they both take sort of fighting stances nonetheless. We go to Leofston. Leofston, you are, I would say, you're still within, I would say, a good movement to get back to the arch, because you only walked a few, 5-10 feet forward with prudence before you were stopped.
Mm.
So, what would you wish to do?
I'm gonna have him put his shield up and defend, and kind of start making his way back, like keeping eyes forward, but like start retreating backwards. But he's not gonna go too far if prudence doesn't come with him.
Okay.
He's gonna. I don't know if I should say I should hold his movement.
You could talk to Prudence if you want. We're right next to each other.
He kind of just like tilts his head, like we need to retreat. We need to move back.
She nods in agreement.
All right, so then he starts moving back, shield up, trying to keep level with her, so that way, can I say he holds defense for either if he gets hit first or her, depending? Like like say they throw a projectile, he can try blocking.
You just want to move. If Prudence is going to move back, you're going to move back with her and kind of keep step.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cool. And then
Yep.
Hold the defense to trigger if they start throwing shit at us.
Sure. You notice obviously that it's still daytime, and this pathway, once they get past 60 feet, or once they are like 60 feet away, which basically be next turn, they will be in the sunlight. The path itself opens up to this clearing. The trees and everything. Sin, you are in dim. You're in dim light right now because you're under tree cover and everything like that. Everyone else, I believe, is pretty much out in the open, but it is daylight. So, all right. So you just wait to go back. Armored boy, keep step with the other armored boys. So they are now 90 feet away. Again, not dashing, just methodically walking forward. Prudence, you go back to the arch with Leofston.
Yeah, Prudence keeps in step with Leofston.
Well, Leo's not going to go all the way to the arch, just back to where we started, like where the L is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Prudence, you're a little bit faster. Do you want to go a little further back, or do you want to stand next to him?
No, she's gonna stay with them.
Okay.
We will stay together. Let us
Yeah.
fight the same opponent. We are currently outnumbered. If they decide to run, then we need to retreat.
He smirks
Shoot.
and nod once.
She's like hiding behind his shield.
Okay, hang on. The pointer color, by the way, on the coloring of the dice, indicates the drawing tool that you have on the tower. So I went ahead and, at least for those who are looking at it that way, I put an arrow where Prudence is standing basically next to Leofston. Poppy. They're advancing slowly but surely. You feel your form of dread kind of wisp away as the talks have ceased and they've begun their advances.
Okay. I don't want to be the first one to fire. I don't think Poppy would be anyway, so.
Oh, fire! Do it.
I don't know if
Let-
Poppy would
Let's
would
light
do
this
that,
candle.
Light them up.
though. I don't think Poppy would do that.
Is there any like non-damaging stuff that you can ready? Maybe.
I mean, yeah, but I only have one spell slot left because I'm a warlock. So, I guess I'll just hold my action to cast Eldritch Blast at the first one of them to try to hurt one of us.
So you're gonna hold Eldritch Blast for the first person to attack.
Yeah.
First enemy that will attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You may have to hold on to this spell for a little bit because it seems like they're slowly advancing. But is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Still remaining 30 feet in the air, 60 feet from the tower.
Yeah.
Okay. The monks now are 20 feet away from you at this point. By the end of this round. Choppa, another monk, takes its careful steps forward. This one looks over to, let's see, Poppy, you're probably... Sin, how far away out were you? You were within running distance. So Poppy's the furthest out, I would say, from the tower. Then Sin, and Leofston and Prudence. They are at least a move action away from the arch. Poppy, you're 60 feet, so you're 2 movements away. Do you want to change that before they end their turns?
What?
You are the furthest. You're the furthest away from the tower out of all your friends. The closest to the enemy.
No, I'll stay where I am.
Okay. All right. Choppa and Roundhouse will go ahead and advance themselves up. Mara, you are at the door. Door's open. You can be able to get out just fine. So you have naturally 40 feet of movement. If you were to do 80 feet of movement from that door, if you wanted to join your friends, I would say you could be able to make it to the arch. Like, adjacent to the arch.
Okay, can I be sneaky on the edge of the arch?
So if you want to move quietly, you can move halfway.
Well, it's more that I want to, I don't want to be, just standing out in the open. I kind of want to be, behind the end of the arch, kind of, peeking out.
Yeah. So in this case, obviously, if you're trying to be quiet and stealthy about it, you wouldn't break out into a full-out run.
Right.
So this round, you can move your speed, which is 40, and at the end, you can make a stealth check to remain, because you're not quite at the arch yet, but you're kind of hiding within the shadow and the brush of the foliage around the tower. So you could definitely do that. So you can be halfway there, and still be quiet, so nobody sees or knows that you're there. You'll just need to, if you want to do that, then you'll need to make a stealth check.
But my other option is to dash and be all the way at the arch.
Correct. But then they would see you. I offered that as a suggestion, but you had a good idea of wanting to be unseen and not really noticed.
Right,
yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm informed before I make any decisions. Yeah, so, and you said a stealth check? Bad. Not bad. 18.
Well done.
Nice.
Very good.
You said I'm about halfway.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine. Theater of the mind wise, you'll be there at the end of your next turn if you do the same exact thing, and you'll possibly be unseen.
Watch me get like a 1 on the next one and like fucking trip and fall.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to all of us at some point. Actually, I need to go and put this at round 2.
A somersault out of the edge.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I keep meaning to hit my turn thing.
You're good. I got it. Alright, so this is the second round of this combat. They are slowly advancing. They aren't all out running. They seem to be in a very tight formation. I mean, disciplined formation. This wouldn't be their first time, you would imagine. So Sin, the monks are 50 feet away from you if you are 30 feet out from the from the arch. The arch is what I'm going from as far as the point in distance of how far away any of them are. So if the monks are 80 feet from the arch and you're 30 feet, that means that they are 50 feet in range of you.
The monks are 50 feet. How close are the non-monks?
60.
60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to roll a dice to decide whether or not I am smart enough, or Sin is smart enough or not. Even, he's smart enough. Odd, he's not smart enough. Even. Okay. Sin is going to run up to where he is within range of hitting the back line, not the monks. He is, even though he didn't get the privileged information from Prudence that these guys are dexterous, he's going to hit the back line with this fairy fire.
So you're going to focus on the 2 in the back?
Yes.
Okay. You will be able to get the 2 in the back plus 1 at least of the iron shadows in front.
Okay.
So go ahead and link Fair Fire for me, and I believe now I will make their actually hold on, they will. I need you to link it because they've been doing something.
How do you do that?
You would just drag the link for it over to the chat box.
And it did nothing.
It did.
I've got the link, brought it over, nothing happened. And by
There it
link,
is.
I mean the chain link. You got it?
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
I did it. Yep. Okay, so Fairy Fire. What is the DC that they need to be able to achieve?
Where do you find that on the list? I haven't been able to find the DC saves.
8 plus base and your proficiency. So 8 in what's the wisdom? So or no, the wisdom is what they. Wisdom's what they need to make.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
dexterity.
Oh, it is
If
dexterity.
you click
It's
on
wisdom.
the gear next to the link, it should show what the save is that they need to hit.
Yep. So 8 plus 2 is your proficiency bonus 10, and then what is your wisdom modifier? 3. Yes.
Yeah, wisdom's 3. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so it's a 13.
Okay.
I would. Oh, not only that, but if you look at the yellow die on Fairy Fire, it tells you right there what the difficulty is.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
All right. So, out of the 3 that you're hitting, who do you want to make the save first?
So I'm hitting Basher and Hitter.
Oh no, Harbinger and Ruffian are the 2 armored guys,
Okay.
and then you can tell me which of the 4 you want to which one of the 4 you want to hit.
Let's start with Rough Ian.
Okay. We'll have Ruffian make his dexterity save.
Good name,
Looks
by
like-
the way.
Thanks. He makes it.
Save.
Who's
Okay,
next?
and then Harbinger.
Okay, so the other armored guy. fails it.
Okay. And then the last one.
All right. Do you want to say which one it is? Because if they fail it, they're going to have to obviously have it on them.
I guess hitter.
Okay. So it is just it is Harbinger who has Fairy Fire on it. So I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put that on him. There you go.
Okay. And
So-
then after, go ahead.
I'll say you notice that when you cast that spell, some of them kind of like look your way for a moment, and the stance that they take allowed them to be able to try to dodge out of the way. Now, granted, Harbinger wasn't so lucky, and so now his armor and his body are they are under the effects of Fairy Fire, which I believe is like a small swarm around them.
Yeah, Sin has a bioluminescent swarm that comes from him that swarms whoever fails that save.
Sounds good.
And then once he accomplishes that, I don't know how far up I moved for that. I didn't think about it, but
You can
I want to move.
you can move back where you were.
Yeah, I'm going to move back where I was,
Sure.
and that's the turn.
So you can, because I mean, what's the range on Fairy Fire?
Range is 60 feet.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even have to move. But we'll say that to get the best position possible to get those two, we'll say you moved to 15 feet and then you came back.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
Sound good?
One is better than none.
One is better than none, and it's one of the armored boys, so.
Yep.
All right. Hitter is 50 feet away from you, Sin. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Don't think about it. Just do it, man.
Yep, we'll do it. We're going to this will be the last round before we end it, just so you guys know we'll have to carry this one on till the next one. But I can promise you this is going to be fun. Unless we all roll a bunch of ones, then that's going to really suck. They should
Or be
they
the
should
be
just
the
take
greatest.
Go ahead.
It would be the greatest.
They should just take the ones off of the dice, like, honestly. Okay. So, Hitter. We'll say Hitter was probably closest to you. Not that that really matters. But Hitter, this Iron Shadow Hobgoblin still carefully just walks its 40 feet, and it is walking through, like, some of the brush and foliage, clearly making noise, no attempt to covering it up. And you can clearly see this, Sin. And but right before it takes it takes a slower final step. But before its foot touches the ground, it puffs in a puff of shadow, and then appears right in front of you, using a very handy, fun thing. And it is going to attack. So you can use that shadow thing once, either before or after their attack. So it is going to make some unarmed strikes against you. You're not.
Are they within 120 feet of me?
They sure are.
Okay, my reaction goes off then.
Yep, you got it.
Which one is it?
Hitter.
Okay.
I'll let you do this first before it lets loose.
17
Nice.
to hit.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
5 damage.
Nice. You see it give up its advantageous stance for defense as it goes on the offensive, and you can see it as it walks he walks forward, and then that last 10 feet where he would have had to just keep going, he ended up in the dim light cover of the trees, disappear, and then quickly reappear right in front of Sin, and be able to start letting loose attacks, and you reflexively fire off your blast and hit him, and he gets pushed off the side, grabbing onto the tree for cover, and then coming around for 4 attacks.
Looking for a 16.
Looking for a 16. Come on, let's go. Let's go 4 nat 1s in a row. Yeah. Let's do it. Oh my god, are you kidding me? All right, that's the first one. That was a nat 1.
Oh, I got close.
That was so that was a hit. This third attack is also a nat 1. Oh my god.
One of them nights, man.
You know what? I'll take it. And a 2. Okay, cool. So out of 4 attacks,
Holy shit.
it hits you with 1.
Are those dice weighted?
Apparently, I mean, I gave Fantasy Grounds $100. I don't know what the deal is. All right, you take 5 bludgeoning damage as it does at least land that third blow as it kind of catches it is put off balance by the blast. You take 5, and I believe what are you concentrating on? Oh, Fairy Fire. You save. You save against. You don't lose concentration on Fairy Fire. All right. That was wonderful.
Hilarious.
Great. All right.
So sorry, Jordan.
Hey, you know what? It's all good. I'm rooting for you guys, so I just, I'll get my win somewhere else, I guess. All right, Tendi. Combat has begun. Sin has been struck. Shots hath been fired.
Clarifying question,
Yes.
because I think I have an idea of what's happening. So it was kind of in the dark,
It was in dim light.
and then
yes.
it moved to the dark in front of Sin.
Yes, so it was walking not on the path, it was in the tree cover, so it was in dim light. And it managed to be able to just shadow jutsu after its 40 feet of movement. It managed to shadow jutsu into another space that is also covered by dim light, which happened
You
to be right in
didn't
front
tell
of
me
Sin.
they were La Sombra in this game.
I don't have to tell you.
Sure.
Not wrong.
Shit, I know what I want to do, but it wouldn't make sense to do it. Okay. How far away are they from me? And I'm asking that because I don't know if I can do anything because I have a feeling they're
So,
pretty far away.
well,
Because
Sin...
he's further down the line, essentially, from where I am.
Well, okay, so you're underneath the cart, and I don't know why the T is over there by the log, but it is essentially on the other side of the arch. So Sin's about 25-ish feet from you, so that whole interaction between the two of them is within 30 feet. Because you are a few feet out from the cart, so the majority of the 3 monks are at 80 feet from the arch, which I would say is probably 70 feet for you with the cart. But Hitter, who is attacking Sin right now, is closer. It's within 30 feet.
And Hitter has fairy fire on.
No. One of the armored boys does. And they are 80 feet from you.
I want to... Hang on, I'm double checking which save would be
Let's see. It's
best.
No problem. While you're checking, it is just easier to tell me what you want to do, and I'll be able to just let you know if you can do it.
Well, the problem is that every single one of my spells kind of does the same thing. So I'm just looking to see which one will work, and then I will tell you which one, and you tell me if I could do it.
Okay. I think what we'll probably do, and I'm gonna make this a note for me, is it might be helpful to go in and in parentheses next to your spells, just put the distance that is so you can see it at a glance.
Oh, I have all of them open. I just have many of them. Wisdom is knowing that tomato doesn't go in a fruit salad. Intelligence is knowing that tomato is a fruit.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So interested in what that logic is going into with your decision.
Nothing particularly good. I guess I'm gonna dragon roar at hitter.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. So it has to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw.
Yeah, all of my
Oh.
spells do the same thing. It's just one is wisdom, one is intelligence, and one is charisma. And so I never know which ones to use.
Yep. All right, so that is going to be a
DC is 13.
So go ahead and roll that yellow die save onto hitter. Hitter fails. What is so what does Dragon Roar do?
My voice is amplified to assault the mind of one creature, so it's like a full-on dragon roaring sound.
Mm-hmm.
If it fails, the target takes 1d4 psychic damage and is frightened until the start of my next turn. The target can be affected by my dragon roar once every 24 hours.
Ooh. Oh, you're not frightened. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I think I can do it.
Okay,
I want to try to see if I can do it. If I do this right, I'll be very happy with myself.
that would be real cool. Yeah, you did it. Now it's frightened of you, right?
Yes, and it heard. Because it was in its head. So
Right.
nobody else heard it. It heard it.
Yeah. So so since you applied it, I'll be able to look at that at least and see that it's afraid of you.
Yes.
So it as it lands one blow against Sin, you let out this roar that only he can hear, and the monk kind of stops and looks your direction, and then backs its head up a little bit, as it certainly doesn't seem that it's probably going to approach you anytime soon. But you rolled the 4 damage. Did you roll it onto hitter?
Yes.
You did. Perfect. Nicely done. All right, that is pretty good. Do you want to get out from underneath there? Or do you want to stay there?
Yeah, I want to not be in the shadow. I don't trust that anymore. I want to still be, like, crouched, but if possible, kind of, like, behind the cart.
Sure.
So I'm in the light, but I'm not in the way.
Okay. So you say you have cover from the cart. Let's say
Yeah.
if you get ranged attacks against you, it's a +2 to your armor class. We'll cover that if they attack you. All right. We go to Harbinger, who has the effects of fairy fire on him. He is going to, again, moving just 30 feet, is going to start heading towards Sin. Doesn't get there, not all the way. But at this point now, they are the equivalent of 60 feet away from the arch. Again, going towards the tree cover for Sin, but obviously that is another 30 feet. It could have closed the gap, but it seems to be knowing what it's doing as it's slowly, methodically coming towards you. We then go to Patches, who I forgot was saw the hit, so he needed to let off his reaction. So I will let him fire off a shot at hitter as well. So let's go hitter. He hits hitter. He damages hitter. And we'll leave it at that.
Sounds like a Jay-Z song.
Right. Okay, now it is during his turn. He sees that it might have been pretty easy to hit that that Iron Shadow. So it is. He's going to go ahead and attempt to. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and sharpshooter it. Oh, yeah, even a regular one isn't gonna work on that one. All right, he is obviously not hiding. They can see him, but it doesn't seem like anything is going to be able to probably get up to him. I don't know, unless there are some that are climbing, but we won't worry about that. We then go to Basher. Sin, you're still the closest? Or Sin, Prudence, and... Sin, you're over by the trees, but Leofston and Prudence, you're in the path, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basher's going to run up to... well, it's... they're 80 feet, closing in on 40 feet. They are still not quite at you. They're pretty close though, because you guys are. They're about 10. There's 10 feet. They're 10 feet away from you at this point. But Basher cracks their knuckles. The woman and the female hobgoblin takes their defensive stance, and then just kind of cocks their head at the other monk who is wearing a mask. She's probably talking mad dirt on that mask, bro. You're gonna have to give her all the smoke.
He doesn't like my mask?
Your mask is different. Shouldn't even go here.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Leofston, you have 10 feet in front of you. You have one of the monks that have stepped forward.
Okay, so if I wanted to attack and use Giant Smite, can I do that in the same turn?
Well, attacking is an action. What is
Yes.
Giant Smite?
Feature bonus action. Okay, yes, I can do both.
Sounds good.
Alright, so Leoson's still holding the javelin, has not yet drawn his sword from being ready before.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to change his stance and his breathing's going to start to get heavier. And then he's going to cast Giant Smite, which makes him start to grow taller. And then, again, two horns burst from his helmet and tusks appear in his jaws. He's getting ready to throw this javelin. Do I need to cast Giant Smite, do I need to drag both effects onto me? Or will just dragging... Okay.
Both effects are 1d6 added to your rolls, and then Giant Smite gives you advantage checks on strength and advantage saves on strength.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was like one button to do that if I do both. I just did both.
Yeah, we can't put them all in one, so that's why I got to do two. And go ahead and click one of those bubbles to fill that in, so you've got that.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Dad. So he lets out a roar that kind of makes the area vibrate just a little. It's not that big yet, but like he's getting there. And he fucking hawks this thing. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. He hawks this thing at Basher.
At Basher. Okay, so the one that just stepped forward?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack with disadvantage.
Oh no, I have an issue. Oh no. I have summoned too many dice. I'm sitting there holding 4.
Oh, just roll them all off to the side. Anywhere that's not in the dice box.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Make
roll
sure
them in the dice box.
Click disadvantage before you roll as Basher is dodging.
Okay.
I learned you can also press escape, and that'll get rid of all the dice in your hand.
That's good to know.
Damn.
As you chuck the javelin like flicking a toothpick, she watches it kind of just in the ground next to her, and she just she holds her stance.
Rude.
And can I have him draw his sword and be ready for the next turn? To be ready for the next turn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, and then he draws his sword, points it at her. And my turn is over.
All right. So you fixed your armor issue. You got the shield equipped. Your AC is 18, right?
Yes.
I don't know how long it's not been 18, but we would definitely. I wouldn't have known.
It's only been since the last session we were talking to the lady, because I was like, Leos's not gonna walk around Zobek wearing his chainmail.
Yeah.
So it's only been like, well, I guess it was throughout the entire last combat, but was not an issue.
Yeah, luckily you didn't get attacked, boy.
Woo!
Well, you sort of did, but not much. All right. Then in that case, we go to Rough Ian's turn. What is Ian gonna do? Ian is going to also head towards Sin. So both Harbinger and Rough Ian are there. He is actually going to dash. He is not going to. He's going to be right up next to you and hit her. As he's not able to do anything, but he does provide some potential help. Alright, that is going to be Rough Ian's turn. We then go to Prudence.
How many are still in front of me in the Leopston?
One. Basher is in front. Choppa and Roundhouse haven't moved up yet. Hitter and Rough Ian are on, meaning adjacent to Sin. That's why I've got him targeted. Harbinger has moved towards him, but is carefully doing so.
If I move up and attack, I won't be surrounded then. Or potentially surrounded.
That depends on who you want to attack.
Whoever's closest, I guess?
Harbinger's, yeah, Basher, I'm sorry, is 10 feet away.
Alright. Prudence is going to move forward, and she's going to attack Basher. Is that the same one that Leofston attacked?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. She's going to use her staff.
Okay.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
You're going to roll that
Where's my
with
staff?
disadvantage.
Why?
Because it is dodging.
Oh, it's dodging.
So make sure you click that disadvantage button.
Disadvantage. And you said Harbinger. Just one more time,
Nope.
right?
Basher.
Basher. Basher, where are you? There you
Hmm.
Whoopsie doodle.
That was a 1.
Chuckles, we're in danger.
Well then, I'm gonna use a key point to do Hand of Harm.
Okay. Hand of Harm is that an attack roll or is that? Let me look here with you. Because we're learning this together. There's so many of you, so many abilities. So when you hit a creature with an unarmed, you got to hit them first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
Now you can, when you use the attack action to make an unarmed strike or a monk weapon, you can use a bonus action to make another unarmed strike.
Isn't that if you make a strike, though, if you hit?
That's not if you hit. That's just if you use the attack action with a unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn, period. You miss, you could still bonus action Kiai.
Okay, then I'll do Flurry of Blows.
Okay, so you're going to spend it on the key point on Flurry?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so then you make 2 instead of 1 bonus unarmed strikes. Remember, both of these are made with disadvantage. It dodges that blow.
I forgot to do that one with disadvantage.
That's fine. Just roll a second attack. We'll use the lower. I mean, a 12 is gonna miss, so
Right. So do I even roll?
nah. Well, you could roll nat 1 and punch yourself, but that's, we're not doing nat 1 super failures. Otherwise, the whole world would explode because I roll nat 1s all the time. Okay. This monk is just focused on your fists and your staff, and is just dodging each of your blows, seeming to have full focus and concentration on defending against being attacked.
Prudence is impressed.
I have no idea what female hobgoblins sound like. Part of me wants to do Jesse from Team Rocket.
They're Australian.
Poppy, it is your turn.
Okay. Which ones are next to Sin?
Hitter and Rough Ian. Harbinger is not there yet, but the Harbinger has Fairy Fire on him.
Okay. Between Hitter and Rough Ian, who looks like they're gonna cause more trouble?
You saw Hitter attack 4 times in a row. Granted, only hitting once, but you haven't seen Rough Ian do anything yet. Except for, obviously, run. So you can tell he runs. But these monks, if they are all very much similar, which they are, they can punch 4 times a turn.
Okay. Is Rough Ian also a monk?
No,
It
Rough
looks
Ian is armored.
Okay. I'm going to twin Eldritch Blast with my last twin spell ability. And I'm going to aim it at Hitter and Harbinger.
Okay. When you roll against Hitter, or when you roll against Harbinger, you would normally have advantage, but he is dodging as he's approaching. That's why he didn't dash. So it's still just a regular roll against Harbinger.
Okay. Well, it's gonna grant me advantage anyway because of the effect that's on it, just naturally. So
then don't roll it on Harbinger. Just roll the regular, roll the attack.
Okay.
In the chat box.
All right. I'll attack Hitter first.
Okay.
12 hit misses.
Blows a chunk off the tree.
And then a natural 1. What the frig is happening tonight?
We're spreading.
That just means next week we'll all get natural 20s all night.
Me too.
No.
Yeah, come on, we're all in this together.
You're not allowed to.
Oh, okay, fine.
You can if someone isn't here and you get to play as that person.
Okay.
Well, that's my turn, I guess.
All right, you're still 60 feet out. You want to stay where you're at?
Folks.
I want to stay where I'm at.
Okay. Choppa is now 40 feet away.
From?
Well, I mean, close, basically now adjacent to Prudence. Oh, yeah, no, because Prudence stepped up. Yeah, so, Choppa is next to Prudence. Choppa's not going to dodge. It's going to try... he's going to try to punch Prudence. Now that there's she's kind of by herself, 1-on-1. Now it's 2-on-1. All right, first one. 17 will hit. Followed up with a miss. Followed up with a hit.
Can I take that second one away with silvery barbs?
You can.
I'm gonna do that.
You use your reaction to silvery barbs it. Okay, so Prudence, remember I gotta roll 2 of them on you. I'll roll those 2 while we're getting silvery barbs up. Alright, so the first punch that you take is 5. The next punch that you take is another 5.
It's rough.
Mm-hmm. They must re-roll the d20 and use the lesser roll. So that was the 16?
17?
No, it was the 16. So I'm going to roll a d20, and it's 11 was the die that it rolled, so we're going to use the lesser of the rolls. 6 plus 5 is 11. I don't think that hits your armor class, Prudence. Nope, you have a
You
15.
get hit again, I'm gonna go down, man.
So yeah, an 11 is not going to hit her armor class. So Silvery Barbs is effective.
And Leofston is going to get advantage on the next roll.
All right, that one, I think, use your spell slot for that one, and then why doesn't Silvery Barbs come equipped with the ability to give somebody advantage? Let me see if I can put that on him.
Give me.
There's not really I need to get this. There's an add-on that adds more effects and stuff. Just remember that you have advantage thanks to Silvery Barbs on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
I'll make a post-it note.
Okay. Those hits were good. Then we go to Roundhouse. There's 2 on Sin, 2 on Prudence, but they wouldn't be able to get to anyone else. Roundhouse is going to move 40 feet. And then, oh, good lord, no, don't drag the whole window. Please don't, please don't. And then it's going to Shadow Jutsu over to Sin. I'm just going to roll these in succession. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 hits. Does that look right?
They're both above 16.
Yes. Okay. So, punch number 1. You lose concentration on Harbinger for Fairy Fire.
Okay.
And the second punch, so you take 6 from that first one and 5 for the second one. We then go to Mara as a wolf.
Who in the party am I closest to? Prudence?
Well, I'd say Prudence is kind of out there. You're closest to Tendi, because Tendi is behind the cart. Next after that would be Leofston, then Prudence, then Sin, and then Poppy, as far as distance away from you.
And Leofston has 2 hobgoblins.
No. Prudence has 2.
Sin has 2.
Sin has, yes. Prudence has 2 monks. Sin has 2 monks and one of the armored guys. The only one who hasn't gotten there yet was the last armored guy, who is carefully moving towards him.
Is Sin within 40 feet of me?
No, it would have been if it was a dash last turn instead of a move and hide.
Well. Are any of the goblins within 40 feet of me?
The closest hobgoblins would be roughly 40 feet, would be the 2 that are on. If you were to go ahead and break out into a full run, you would be able to get there and attack either, I believe it was Choppa and Basher.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go to scroll. Damn it! Nope, scrolled too fast. Okay, I'm gonna go to Choppa. Then I'm gonna run them and use the bite attack.
Okay, so you're going to Choppa.
Action.
So, Prudence, a familiar wolf, or a wolf appears out of the woods to rush to your side.
Harrow! So I do, that's the attack on Choppa. No!
That would have,
Um,
yeah, the Choppa was not dodging. Choppa was the one that attacked. So yeah, that wouldn't have been that would have been just a regular roll. So yeah, that missed.
White man, no!
He
Uh,
hikes up his leg to avoid your snipping.
okay, well, I moved and I attacked.
Now, hold on a second. So, the wolf has advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated.
Yeah, you said I wasn't close, they weren't close enough.
You're adjacent to Prudence.
Oh, I thought she wasn't close enough. Okay,
Yeah, if you're
so I
saying
can roll again.
yeah, if you're saying just close enough, I probably wouldn't. I probably didn't pick up on that. So yeah, you can roll a with advantage. So roll again to see if it hits.
No!
That's rough.
A white man? No! Sorry. Sorry, I got Schmidt in my head. I can't say no like that without it.
And you're good. All right. Well, you are now at least aiding Prudence in combat against these two devilish masked figures.
Hooray.
All right. Anything else?
No, I can't do anything else, so no.
Okay. Go ahead and click on end your turn. Wicket will report, obviously, that Wicket will report that everything's still fine. Just a quick, like, all good. And I don't think Jolene can only really help with these infused strikes if she's close enough. So I'm gonna assume, because we're gonna end combat here. I'm gonna assume that he probably sent Jolene down along with Wolf Mara, but that is a question we will save for next time. Is Jolene down with Mara, at least? Okay, and we will stop at round 3 against these more capable, more skilled, less peon hobgoblins that you are fighting against.